KIANA'S Flex Appeal was recorded on location at the beautiful West End Maui on Kaanapali Beach.
If you've hit a plateau in your training program and find you're not seeing any results, it may be time for a change. So next time you work out, try doing different exercises instead of the same thing you always do. This way you'll strengthen muscles you didn't know you had and develop a well-rounded symmetrical physique. Today we're going to be doing exercises like the clean and press, deadlifts, and leg extensions, and a new exercise for the hip rotation. It's easy to tighten and strengthen your lower body right at home. Kay and Brad and I are going to show you some exercises that you can do right in your own home to strengthen the quads, the hamstrings, and the glutes. Now Brad's starting off with the clean and press, which is a terrific power basic movement that you can do with a basic barbell. Hey, like that, basic barbell. You want to clean the bar up to chest level and press up into a shoulder press from that point. Now, if you notice, as he cleans the weight up, it's similar to when you lift heavy packages or suitcases. You want to make sure and use proper form to protect the back. Excellent. This is an easy exercise to do with dumbbells or a barbell. Another exercise you can do for the lower body is a stiff-legged deadlift.
I'm going to turn to the side so people can see common mistakes people do with this exercise is a lot of times they'll bend at the knees to protract their scapula at the back. You want to pivot at the hip. Flexibility is important here, but you don't want to go too far down where your form is being sacrificed. You want to feel all the emphasis on your hamstring.
That's good. That's a good point that he mentioned. And when you first start this exercise, you may notice that your flexibility, your range of motion is not very far, but as you do it, you will become more and more flexible. This is also terrific for women. I notice when I do these, I don't know about you, Kay, but it really helps to tighten the glutes as well. Definitely. Good. Okay, let's move on now. All you need for this one is a pair of ankle weights to strengthen the quadricep muscle.
These are great, Kiana. When I travel on modeling assignments, I'm in a hotel, take my ankle weights with me. I can do these pretty much anywhere. You can do it on a flat floor, or here we've added a step for a little bit higher resistance on the leg.
In addition to the quadricep muscle working here, she's also using her hip flexors to hold her leg up in position. And notice here her knees are in proper alignment. She's not letting the knee lower or extend above the opposite knee. An alternate exercise you can do for the lower body with the same ankle weights is for the glutes. This is a hard area to work for women.
She makes it look easy.
Because she has good glutes.
That's right.
I work at it. I've got my lower leg bent. That's very important to keep the pressure off the back. And then you just squeeze the glutes and lift that foot to the sky.
And one thing I noticed what you're doing perfectly, Kay, you want to think about pushing up with the heel. Right here. You could even add resistance right here, but you want to think about lifting that heel up to work the upper part of the glutes. Great. Now let me show you guys one for the hip rotator that you can do right here on a step. By standing on a step or on the stairs in your home, you can strengthen the hip rotators, keeping the leg straight and rotating the hip up. You want to make sure and get the complete range of motion and use the stabilization muscles so you keep your balance.
This is a great one for the elderly to do because this is an often neglected area where people have hip replacements and stuff like that. This is a good one for you to do in your home.
It's also very important to do this one here in Maui because it strengthens your hula.
So any hula dancers out there, make sure and do your hip rotation exercises. There are many benefits of exercise. One of my favorite is that it improves your mood and sense of well-being. Prolonged exercise releases hormones called endorphins, which makes you feel great. And that's why after a workout, you always feel more energized and more positive, ready to tackle the day. Now here we're using a little creativity to strengthen the muscles in the calves. We made our own seated calf raise, heels off of a step, 25-pound weight across the lap, getting a complete range of motion, the heels going all the way down, and then Kay is extending up on her toes, contracting the muscles behind the lower leg.
Really isolating that soleus muscle, the muscle right behind the leg, and squeezing it really tight at the top.
This is excellent for men and women in particular. We neglect to train our calves, and it's so important because when you're wearing heels, it looks much nicer and also helps you with your stabilization as well.
on those really high heels when you need that stabilization.
Yeah, Brad had those on the other day.
Oh, dear.
Well, as you can see, Flex Appealers, in order to get a great lower body workout, all it takes is portable equipment and some creativity. Diagonals, twists, and zigzags are featured along with the very tough stadium hops in drills for downhill skiing. But if you're involved in any activity requiring powerful lower body change of direction, such as basketball, these KIANA'Metrics are for you.
Injury prevention and power development are reasons for you to include plyometrics in your exercise program. Stadium hops are probably the most universally used drill, and they will help the downhill skier to develop power and quickness, along with the essential movement coordination of the ankle, knee, and hip. Note that landing is light and quick, and that they're moving without pausing, taking multiple steps on each jump. You would do at least 10 jumps in each set. Notice that as Darren does the zigzag drill, he jumps from one side to the other, always taking off and landing on the same foot. Make sure that you don't double hop at touchdown. Development of power twisting ability is essential to all forms of skiing. Plyometrics force the muscle to lengthen under tension and then immediately contract, which develops the necessary muscle speed. When you add this speed to strength, you get power. This will help you carve your way through the moguls. Rotational power for skiing can be helped further by the hip twist ankle hop. This exercise is a great warm-up for any activity requiring torso rotation. Notice that as Brad and Darren do this exercise, the upper body doesn't turn. The movement comes from the hips and the legs. This again is emphasizing quick, coordinated movements by the ankles, legs, and hips. Even though this is a very simple exercise, you must strength train prior to including it in your program. Weak obliques or legs will lead to muscle pulls and tears. Box drills can be done in 30, 60, or 90 seconds form. You should touch the top of the box once per second. To mimic the high-intensity endurance needed for a common downhill run time, you should do the 90-second drill. If you're new to box drills, first make sure you have the proper leg strength, and secondly, start off with the 30 and 60-second drills before trying the 90. Remember, if you can't complete 10 sets of the 90 seconds drill, you don't have the muscular endurance required to prevent injury on the slopes. So work to improve on this prior to your next time up the mountain. Diagonal hops are another basic exercise that could be used for warm-ups. Keeping the ankles together, Kay, Brad, and Darren zigzag across the barrier. Notice that they're landing on the balls of their feet. This puts additional impact force on the calf muscles, which will increase the speed of the muscular reaction from the ankle up. This zigzag motion will add to angular power and quickness. Many of the injuries on the ski slopes are due to out-of-shape skiers. You need plyometrics, but first you have to strength train. By adding a few hours per week of strength training and plyometrics training to your schedule, you'll be able to ski longer and safer. Remember, if you can make the time to ski, you can make the time to train.
Cross-training is a great way
way to provide your body and mind with an off-season change of pace. Or if you're not training for a particular sport, use cross-training as a method to add variety and more fun to your workout program. In addition to my cross-training segments, be sure to look at my Aquaflex and Kianametric workouts too. Lower body speed with the ability to change direction is the hallmark of all soccer players. Developing the muscular strength to go with the speed requires power exercises. Today's plyometrics provide just that. All sports require strong lower bodies, but none so much as soccer. Strong, powerful lower leg muscles are essential in executing the soccer pass. Unilateral capabilities are vital because both legs are used. The power needed for soccer equates to muscle speed. The split squat jump and cone hops with 180-degree turn will challenge your fitness level while increasing the speed at which your muscles move from a stretched to a contracted state. The multitude of body positions make foot quickness and agility a must for a successful soccer pass. The standing long jump with change of direction and the zigzag drill are standard, but they do appear sport-specific for soccer. You might want to try designing your own drills for soccer. To increase power in a particular skill, simply mirror the action of the skill, adding quick motions that require you to stretch and contract over obstacles. So jump into plyometrics. It's fun and a challenging way to improve performance for any sport. Next, during weight training, we'll focus on the lower body. If you're just beginning soccer as a cross-training sport, or you're joining a recreational league, you're going to have to train to cross-train. As we mentioned, lower body strength is critical. So start with the basic squat. The squat is the only exercise that works all of the lower body muscles and postural muscles as a unit. It's an exercise that should be in everyone's program. The deadlift works the hamstrings as hip extensions and not knee flexors like the hamstring curl does. The closed chain deadlift is important in developing the hamstrings as lower body stabilizers. Because plyometric exercises require you to stay on your toes and do a great deal of jumping, starting, and stopping, calf raises are especially important to strengthen the lower part of the leg. You also need to include leg adduction. All you guys out there, I'll bet adduction isn't part of your program. So when you pull a groin muscle, remember, I told you, do your leg adductions. This should be one of the more powerful moves of the lower body, and especially needed in soccer. Training those inner thighs isn't just for the girls.
Did you know that muscle dysmorphia is a disorder characterized by a fear of being too small and lacking muscularity? It's referred to as bigorexia by the bodybuilding community. Like anorexia, it's fundamentally a disorder of body image. It's found primarily among young men who feel too small despite the fact that they're larger and more muscular than average. As anorexia has been associated with the increasing social pressures on women to be thin, muscle dysmorphia is a similar response of young men. They're influenced by social pressures to be bigger and more muscular. Evidence of this can be found in the growing gym subcultures, bodybuilding magazines, and movies with bodybuilder-type heroes. At the heart of both anorexia and muscle dysmorphia is an abnormal view of one's body. Both types pose physical and psychological dangers that should be addressed by a medical team of physician, psychiatrist, and a dietitian. So remember, look at your body objectively and set realistic fitness goals for yourself. It's important when you're training in the gym to vary the type of equipment you use. This will enable you to build and shape a more symmetrical physique. Today we'll be using machines, which are plate-loaded, free weights, and the Kiana fitness band, starting off with squats and lunges. The squat is one of the best exercises for tightening the glutes and the inner and outer thigh. You're also working the stabilization muscles, which are the hamstrings and the abdominals at the same time, so it's a great overall exercise. Now notice here Kay's form, nice and slowly on the way down, keeping that back tight. Now she's working in a shorter range of motion because her legs are very long. You're so lucky. If you have a longer femur, such as Kay, you won't be able to go down quite as far. But that's okay, you just want to make sure and keep the strain off the lower back.
Control, I really try to control all parts and all muscles, and that helps me really not injure myself on this one.
And you want to think about pushing up through the heels to isolate the glutes. Okay. Now we're going to be doing a variety of exercises today for the total body and showing you the exercises with free weights machines and the Kiana fitness band. Now this is called the split squat because the legs are split. Notice the alignment of my knee directly over the ankle, really working that front leg, the front thighs, hamstrings, and the glutes.
If you notice, she's staying low to the ground the whole time, and she's squeezing everything. She's not straightening all the way up. That way you get the most out of the band in the lunge.
And other sides. And what I think about when I'm doing the split squat is keeping the shoulders back, chin up, while isolating the front leg. Okay, let's move on to the back, shall we?
Yeah.
Now the ISO row by Hammer Strength is fantastic for isolating the back. You can do the exercise one arm at a time or both. Having a strong back is important to improve the posture. Helps you in everyday activities, you know, lifting heavy things, if you have children, picking up kids, carrying groceries, etc. When you're training in the gym, if you can only work out 3 days per week, a total body workout using 3 to 4 exercises in a circuit form such as we're doing is very beneficial. Okay, very good. Now here's one you can do. Same exercise for the back, bent over rows this time, using the Kiana fitness band. By bringing the leg in, shortening the band, I can make it harder.
These bands are great. When I travel a lot, I always take it with me in my suitcase. I don't leave home without it, so make sure you get one to take with you.
They're fantastic because they fit right in your purse, in your suitcase, so they're great to take with you to the office too. And one more. All right, Kay, let's move on to the shoulder press.
All right.
Now don't forget, Flex Appealers, when you're working out, only those muscle fibers that are not fatigued are still working. This means that if you're trying to use the maximum amount of muscle fibers within the 3 to 5 rep load, you can't continue to work the same fibers just by lowering the weight. If you want to continue working the maximum strength fibers, you must wait at least 5 minutes or so that it takes for all those fibers to be rested.
Getting a tan here as I do this too, Kiana.
You're wearing your sunscreen, right?
There I am.
Now the shoulder press is excellent for strengthening the overall deltoid area. When you're training and doing a total body workout, you want to pick a variety of exercises each time you go to the gym. So this would be a great Monday workout. Then a Wednesday we might pick 8 other exercises for the entire body.
Making sure I get that full range of motion all the way up and all the way down.
Good. Perfect. Do one more. You look great. You have good shoulders.
Thank you.
Oh, you did
One
2
more.
more. She did an extra one.
One more. Sneak another one in there.
Now, in addition to doing the shoulder press, you want to pick shaping exercises such as side raises for the side head of the deltoid. And if you want to modify this slightly by bringing the arm to the front, you can focus on the anterior deltoid.
You can really do anything with these fitness bands. It's amazing, Kiana.
Very versatile. What you would want to do is 6 to 10 reps of each motion. Then just bring it around to the front for the front raise for the anterior delt. This is so versatile, isn't it?
Very versatile.
Let's move on over here to an exercise for the triceps on the cable machine. Now, as you can see, this parabody multi-station unit is very versatile as well. Just by lowering the seat and using the straight bar, you can do an exercise for the back of the arm or the tricep muscle. Now, Kay, when you're doing this exercise, I want you to think about keeping your elbows in line and keeping them stationary. There you go. Slight bend in the knee. There, just takes the strain off of the back. You just slightly bend those knees. You can feel it. Really release the tension off the back. Good. If she needed a spot, I could help her out right here at the chain. Like that. Good. One more. Okay, let's move on. Our final exercise is also for the triceps. It's an overhead extension. This is a great one with the band. Elbow up right next to the ear and extending up. Nice and slow. Keeping the abs tight. Again, my knees are bent too. Just like Kay's work. Up. This is great for women to tighten and tone the back of the arm, which tends to get a little bit looser and jiggly. I don't like that.
It's like when you do the pepper shaker. Don't want that arm to jiggle, so make sure you do a lot of these tricep exercises.
And one more. Great. Well, as you can see, it's easy to get in a great workout at the gym or on the road with your Kiana fitness band. Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Weight training workouts should never be done on consecutive days. Fiction. While most beginners try to train every other day to provide time for recovery, there's actually no scientific evidence that you can't work out every day as long as you've had a 24-hour rest in between workouts. So if you're not used to working out every day, it's important to lighten your weights or reduce the amount of exercise from the day before. Thank you at home for joining us today. Hope you had a great time. Now let's take a look at what's coming up on our next show.
In our home gym segment, it's an entire upper body workout using household items such as water bottles, towels, and soup cans. We'll be strengthening our arms in our Aquaflex workout that you can do in your own pool. In cross training, we'll be using strength exercises and plyometric drills to improve your soccer defense. We're curling our way to better biceps in our Pro Gym workout.